What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another Cleveland Guardians article review for you. And today, the article comes from Mark Feinsand of MLB.com. And the article is 14 prime trade candidates and where they might be dealt. And of course, I went through the article, and the Guardians are indeed featured pretty prominently in this article. Okay? Now, there are a couple names on here that I've already talked about, so I'm not going to, go through their stuff again. But man, there are some pretty interesting names in this article that Mark has linked the Guardians to. So with that being said, let's dive right in. Now, before I do, be sure as always to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell, as we are just over a month away from the MLB Trade Deadline. And of course, as of the filming of this video, the Guardians currently sit one game over 500 at 36-35 after another nail-biting victory last night. They essentially exorcised the demon of that Mariners game. Literally deja vu, except this time they got the win. Love to see that. Literally same exact scenario. Bases loaded, 2 out, had the lead. Clase finished the job. Good job. Let's go. But yeah, I'll be doing Guardians trade deadline content from now until the trade deadline, and I'm probably going to go live. Not sure if JB Taylor will be joining me this year. Seems as though he's got other ventures he's been focusing on, so we'll see there. But yeah, there's a good chance I'll be live for the trade deadline. And of course, if the Guardians make any trades from now until July 31st, I'll make a video for it. Might even go live if it's a big one. Never know. But a lot of people are starting to doubt whether the Guardians will actually make a move. But we'll see where they are, come around that time. So, that being said, as always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let's dive into this article. Now, again, I'm going to go based off of the order that the Guardians appear in this article. And the first player that was linked to the Guardians is a very interesting one. And it's none other than Marlins pitcher Edward Cabrera. Now, right off the bat, you look at a Savant page, and yeah, there's definitely something there, but yeesh, not great. A lot of blue. A lot of blue. Yeesh. I do like his fastball value, though. His velo, good. Breaking ball, value, great. I said fastball value. Look at it. Fastball value stinks. Off-speed run value stinks. Breaking ball value is good, though. Fastball velo, he throws a hard-ass fastball. Fast as hell. Chase percentage is good. K percentage is good. Some mid in there. I think if you get him in the Guardians pitching lab, I think we could bring out the best in him. Bring out the inner demon, right? I remember a couple years ago, he was an absolute demon in MLB The Show. Because, of course, I follow some content creators who play MLB The Show online, and from what I understand, he was an absolute demon. Now you look at his stats, 0.7 WAR, 2.2, 4.10 ERA, 11 starts. Okay. Yeah, he seems like a Guardian. Very Guardian-esque signing. And you look at his contract. He's still got a lot of time left. After this year, he's got 3 ARB years left before he becomes a free agent. This is the most Guardians freaking trade target ever. Now, would they do it? Probably not. So yeah, that's Edward Cabrera of the Miami Marlins. Now, I had to scroll down a little bit into the article. Again, this article has some pretty interesting names. Now we get to the next player linked to the Guardians in the article, and this one makes me wonder why. And that is Marcell Ozuna of the Atlanta Braves. Now, right off the bat, again, his savant page, the exact opposite of Edward Cabrera. That's a whole lot of red. I mean, it's either red or like pretty much grayish, like light blue. His base running stinks, but look at his freaking sprint speed. My dude is a damn sloth. I think Molasses is faster than him. And of course, he doesn't play the field. Now, as you know, with the Guardians, David Fry cannot physically play the field because of elbow surgery this past offseason. So he can't play the field until next year. Now, the thing about Marcell Ozuna, he's a rental. I don't watch enough of the Braves to really know too much about how he does against righties and lefties. But if he's a righty matchup, I wouldn't mind it. He does bat right-handed, so he would crush that freaking wall in left field at Progressive. That wouldn't be any issue for him. So you got to remember, would Mr. Anthopoulos actually sell? Like you pretty much have to like hold him down and force him to make calls out to sell people because he doesn't do that. If anything, he's more likely to add. It's just the way he is, right? I don't see him selling off Marcell Ozuna. Like the Braves could literally be like last place in the league, like the worst team ever, and he would still not sell. It's just the way he is. Now again, you look at his stats. 11 homers, 257 batting average, 38 RBIs, 389 on base, 427 slug, 129 OPS plus, 817 OPS, 1.5 WAR. I mean, he'd be a great player, but off the field stuff kind of concerns me too. You know, this is a very Browns-ish move here. If he played football, the Browns would be all over this. Now, I'm not going to show his contract because, again, he's a rental. Coming off the end of a pretty lengthy contract that he had with the Braves. Had his club option picked up, what, $16 million? Yeah, I don't know about that, buddy. Yeah, I don't see this happening at all. I don't think he gets sold at all anyways. I think they add. So, Marcell Ozuna, you already know where he'll end up on my list later on. Just a pretty interesting name to have in the article. The next name mentioned with the Guardians is a guy I already talked about. It's Jesus Sanchez. You know, again, I've talked about him before in my last video I did for the Guardians. I mean, he'd be a great addition, has some good power, can actually play the field unlike Marcell. But it's just interesting how he was once again linked to the Guardians. Okay. Now, the next name linked with the Guardians is a pitcher. Yeah, a reliever at that. And that is Dennis Santana of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, before I show you his savant page, I got to warn you, this is a lot of red again. If you're a bull, look away. Because it's a lot of red. My God, look at the amount of red. And this guy plays for the Pirates, man. My God. Extension's bad, but everything else is pretty much amazing to like really good. Off-speed run values, meh. Barrel percentages, K percentage, he doesn't strike people out a lot. But look at the chase percentage. My God, he's got people chasing his pitches like freaking Tom chases Jerry. Freaking Wile E. Coyote chasing Roadrunner. My God. You get this guy in the freaking Guardian pitching lab. If Carl is as good as we think he is, he'll turn that blue into red. You put this guy in the back end of our pen, right? Woo-wee! Especially if you trade away Clase, because some people think we might do that, especially if things don't get better. You trade Clase, you make Kate Smith the closer, you bring in Dennis Santana to be the setup man. Oh my God. That would be nuts. What if you keep Clase? You can make Hunter Gaddis essentially like a sixth inning man. Then you have freaking Cade be the eighth inning guy and this guy be a seventh inning guy. Or you mix and match. Ooh, that'd be tough. Now again, you look at his stats, 2-1, sub-2 ERA with the Pirates. That's freaking nuts. 1.74 ERA, 5 saves, 25 Ks, 8.39 whip. Pretty good. Yeah, I think the lower the whip, the better. Sub-1. Yeah, he's pretty good. Now you look at his contract, and this is very Lane Thomas-esque. We'd essentially have him for a year and a half. Yeah, I'd be down with this for sure. 100%. I would love it. Now, will the Guardians do it? Sure they would. I'm sure they would. Right? Now, again, the next player mentioned is actually the last player mentioned in the article, and that's Taylor Ward. Not going to go through his stuff. We already know about him. He's pretty good. So, yeah, it's interesting. Ward and Sanchez, once again, linked to the Guardians in an article by a prominent writer. Again, there's no rumors supporting us going after those two. It's just interesting. But the first one was Jim Bowden. Nobody trusts that loser. This is Mark Feinsand. He's a prominent writer with the MLB on MLB.com. Must be some serious smoke there, maybe. Just interesting, right? Now we go to Guardian or no. And I'm going to be doing this with every article review too, by the way, that I do for the Guardians. Now, right off the bat, you already know who number 5 is. Marcell Ozuna. Not just because of the contract, but the dude can't play the field. He does mash, but we already have essentially a DH. We're clogged there. We're overclogged. You know? We don't need another DH. We need a guy who can play the field and mash. I mean, Marcell could play the field, but he's like Franmil Reyes playing the field. It's a no-no. It's a no-no. John Kenzie Noel is a better fielder, I think, than Marcell. That's tough. But yeah, we essentially have a Marcell Ozuna at home. John Kenzie Noel. And he actually plays the field. Now, coming in at number 4, I got Taylor Ward. It's really just the fact that I don't see him as a Guardian. It's the other 3 names mentioned. And of course, number 3, I got Edward Cabrera. It's a demon, but I don't know if we'd actually pull it off. He has a lot of term left. I don't know if the Marlins would be willing to get rid of him like that. But man, I'd be all for it. Number 2, Dennis Santana. Again, another demon for the bullpen. I mean, you put him like in the 7th or 8th inning role with the Guardians. Oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. And then, of course, once again, second article in a row, Jesus Sanchez, my number 1. Simply because he can mash a little and he can play the field. That's what we need. Is he the best option? No, but he was the only other guy that was mentioned in the article. Now, you may be wondering, who else was mentioned in this article that the Guardians weren't linked to? No, we go down this list. Of course, Tyler Anderson, a lefty. I would love him, man. Again, I would love him on the guards, but they didn't link us to him. Okay. And you got Jake Bird, reliever from the Rockies. I'm sure every team that needs bullpen would be after him, so I don't think that would happen. He's going to have a lot of suitors. And then, of course, you have Kyle Finnegan, another reliever. He's going to be like one of the most sought-after closers. Unless the Guardians just fall apart and then Class A becomes available, then I could see Class A being heavily sought after because of that contract. But I don't know. I don't think we'd go after him. Drew Heaney, I would love him. Again, starter, solid innings eater, can get the job done. Yeah, I'd be off for that for sure. And then Zach Littell. Now, I would love Zach Littell, but would the Rays really be willing to deal with us again after what we did to them with Kyle Manzardo? We finessed them for Kyle Manzardo by giving them Aaron Savale. And Savale is now on the White Sox. Yeah, the Rays traded him to the Brewers, who then traded him to the White Sox because he didn't want to go to the bullpen. Then you have Ryan McMahon, and for obvious reasons, we're not doing that. Duh. Josh Naylor, I know Guardians fans would love to bring back Josh, but that's not going to happen. He's a rental. It's not going to happen. And then Freddie Peralta. The last two names that I'm going to mention here are essentially the two guys that I would go after if the Guardians were to go essentially all in. Freddie Peralta from the Brewers and Luis Robert Jr. of the White Sox. If they were to do any of those two, oh, that's like okay, they're serious about this year. Yeah. Like Freddie Peralta, I would only go after Freddie if, God forbid, Shane Bieber has a setback and he doesn't pitch well, or if he comes back and he's struggling. God forbid another freaking pitching injury happens. Ugh. We already lost Ben Lively for the year and then some. We're not getting much out of the other starters besides Gavin and Tanner. And with those two, it's like an up and down thing. It's like roulette. It's like, what do we get today? Right? The others, you're not sure what you get. Slade, I mean, he's all right every once in a while. Luis is low-key good, but he's so shaky. And Logan Allen, I mean, same with Luis too, run support. He doesn't get that. Logan Allen, coming off a game where he had, 11 runs of support? Is he going to get that again? I don't know. And then, of course, Luis Robert. Obviously, I don't think we're going to get him because he's on the White Sox, and they're not going to trade him to a rival. Simple as that. So that's it. Now, I did find one other article from Bleacher Report. I'm not from Bleacher Report, from MLB.com, posted 2 days ago from, I don't know who exactly wrote it. Doesn't exactly say. But it's one thing each team will be looking for before the deadline. And for the Guardians, they put clarity. Okay. Yeah, clarity. Okay. It's actually a little piece written by Tim Stebbins. So it's like a little piece written by all the writers of the teams. Okay, I see how they did that. It's a combined effort. All right. So yeah, guys, that's another video in the books. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Would you like any of these players? Honestly, I would, given the names mentioned that we were linked to. We'll see how things change as we get closer to the deadline. Now, once I start seeing like articles talking about legit trade packages, I might do a full-on live stream for that. But for these kind of articles, I just do them in a video. It saves time, right? So with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all tonight for Guardians Giants Game 2. Can the Guardians get a winning streak going? It'd be nice. Logan Allen versus Justin Verlander. That'll be fun. But I'll see you guys tonight for Guardians Giants. With that being said, I'm Crazy Dog, As always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell. See you guys tonight. Go Guardians. I'm Crazy Dog, and I'm out. Bye-bye. Yeah.